Hello, my name is Mitch, and this is my newbie review of the Eachine E010s FPV racing quadcopter. Now you've seen videos of unboxing of many of these quadcopters by now, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to go over what I've done to improve mine and my uh, opinions of the quadcopter itself. This is the frame is almost exactly the same as the Inductrix frame, which I have here. So it's much lighter than the original E010 frame, although on the Inductrix frame the struts are pretty small. On the Eachine frame they are much beefier. There's a strut support here, more like a gusset. Also, the motor supports are thicker. This is I found that it was a little bit too flimsy, a lot like the original Inductrix. It's easy enough to bend it out of shape and break. Now, the Inductrix have been pretty solid. I found that Shugu on the broken struts did a very good job of repair. I've not yet had to repair this, although I did add this is a carbon fiber brace for an Inductrix, and that's when I realized that these motors supports or motor mounts are a little bit thicker than the originals, so I had to grind them down with a little drum sander so that they would fit, and I attached them everywhere. Here with a little Shugu again has done an amazing, very rigid now, very solid. I also added the E010 camera roll cage, for lack of a better term. Now, when I went to put it on, I noticed that this was a three-sided mount. The third mount got in the way of the antenna, so I decided to cut it off. I also ground down a little bit because these ICs are sticking up from the board. I did not grind them all the way down, so to leave a space there for cooling so it would not overheat. I attached the camera with two-sided tape inside of its pocket here, and it has been very rigid. I have not had to remount the camera since I got it. I found that the original mounting, which was just two-sided tape, to be very not adequate. The camera would be falling off everywhere. Since I've added this roll cage, I tweaked the antenna a little bit so that it would fit in there okay. And since that time, I have not had to remount the camera or do any kind of changes. The carbon fiber brace here and this little hoop have made it very solid. I will attach video from my VRT D2 goggles, and no doubt there'll be at least one hit against the wall, and now it just bounces off of everything and just keeps on going. These red motors, I'm assuming, are 18,000 kV motors or so, are a big improvement on the original Inductrix. This has lots of power now. Another change I've made is the original battery is a 150 milliamp 45C battery. I don't know if you can focus on that well. It gives me about 2 minutes of flying time until I hit 3.7 to 3.8 volts, which is where I usually like to stop, just so that I don't have to charge them to storage voltage. What I did to change that is I cut the front of the battery bay a little bit, just a little notch out of it, and put two pieces of foam. And I'm using my Inductrix batteries, which are Tattoo 220 milliamp. Oh, there we go. I've got to try and see it upright. 220 milliamp batteries with the original Inductrix style connector, same weight as the original batteries. They both come in at 5 grams, although you get a lot more juice out of this. I added two little pieces of foam, again attached with Shugu, my new favorite sealer. And that way, oops, sorry, hit the camera there. This way I just slide in my battery and it goes right into place quite easily. Of course, right up until I try to actually show somebody. Naturally. There we go. So now it slides on through and connects very easily. Also removing the weight of the original connector plus all of the wire of this, making the overall unit with all of these changes that I've done weigh in on my cheap, not very accurate scale at exactly the original starting weight of 25 grams, all up weight. So I've gained a lot of rigidity and battery time, which, oh, another thing I forgot to mention, these Tattoo 220 milliamp batteries give me, I set my flight timer for 2.5 minutes. I come in and I park it at consistently between 3.7 and 3.8 volts on my charger. So the batteries are not stressed. I get a good solid flight time for 2.5 minutes, come back in to the barn with lots of juice. Excuse me. My overall impression of this quad, I love it. It's great. I will add video of me bashing around the house, and when you see me flying this, you will understand why I like it so much. It is very nearly as stable as the original Inductrix without any of its flaws, such as, well, short flight time because of the original's motherboard problem, which I've been waiting for 3 months for a motherboard for this one, so I'm not very happy. This quad does not suffer from, the Eachine does not suffer from obviously the original production issues of the Inductrix, but also has lots of power. This is pretty anemic to climb. I have to slow down a lot to be able to climb. With this puppy, I can really climb very comfortably. I actually tend to hit the ceiling more often due to its increased power. I am not an expert pilot, but this would be an ideal first drone even because of its stability in both the stabilized modes, which I believe they call angle mode, and I'm flying in horizon mode, working my way up to acro, and this quad I feel is a great little quad. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and have a great day.